All right, everybody, welcome back. I have a special episode today. I'm very excited about this one. We have Brandon Schapetti from Bleeding Through, one of my favorite brands growing up. It's just such an honor to have you on here, brother, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us and spend a little time with me, answer some
Yeah, man.
questions, and go from there, man. But thank you.
Yeah,
Go ahead and introduce
honored.
yourself.
I'm Brandon. I sing for a band called Bleeding Through. We've been a band since 1999, and it's a really long time. Just means that we're getting older, not younger. It's official. But dude, I love your shirt, man. By the way, like the Prestige Worldwide shirt's great.
Hey, bolts and hose, baby, bolts and hose.
Hmm.
You know where it goes.
That's really
Yeah,
funny.
man. Just I love that movie as well. What are some movies that you watch? Like, what's your kind of genre of movies? Are you a horror guy, comedy? What's your thing?
Dude, I think when I look back at like movies in my life, I think it was all about what we were watching in the bus together, like every night, because like we had like movie bonding while on tour and stuff. And that era was just like, I think about the movies we've watched like so many times, like White Chicks and like Beer Fest and like Super Troopers and like just like anything Judd Apatow, like um, anything like Paul Rudd, like just that type of thing right there. That's what I kind of remember is like the movie heyday in my life was like being on the bus with my band and like watching these movies over and over, and they're still funny. It's crazy. Like
Bro,
Step
yes,
Brothers is one of them.
and
You know what I mean?
yeah, and those movies just age like fine wine, man. It's
I
it's
know, man.
fantastic. I I was the other day because my wife is not from here, and she had never seen American Pie, and I rewatched
Yeah,
them with her because I was like, we're gonna watch them together. Fuck, they're still hilarious, dude.
they're
They're like the
super
most
funny,
funny
man.
shit.
They're so
That's the
funny
most
and like
funny shit.
in today's standards, they're just so like that movie wouldn't be able to be made right now. It's kind of weird.
Ah, yeah.
But you can say that
I'll,
about everything. Yeah, I mean those movies there's something like really like almost like honest and like it's just at the tip of when they were actually starting to make movies about how we actually thought at those ages, which is like super bad, for example. Like that movie was literally every boy's high school experience at one point, but it's never really been made a movie on what we actually like thought, like how we actually thought, you know? And yeah, man, that was like that just was a hit home time, I think, for like me, especially age wise, like being like in my 20s and really like remembering high school and like so anything that had to do with like any of that shit was funny as hell, man.
Oh, for sure, man. And one of the reasons I mean, I love music. I'm a heavy metal like guy. That's my shit. You know, all kinds of metal. You were talking
Yeah,
everything. And one of the reasons I started playing guitar was because I love the music. But I was like, man, how many fucking chicks can I get if I play guitar? Like
yeah, dude.
and like when you're talking about super bad, like high school kids. I mean, you're just thinking about how can I get laid, and where's the
Yeah,
next beer and weed I could smoke,
yeah.
and that's all
That's
you're
pretty much
thinking,
it.
for
And then
sure.
they made a movie
Hey,
about it.
man, yeah, and they made a great movie about it. But thank you for
Cool.
coming on again, brother. I
No
appreciate
problem.
it. I mean, everywhere from 18 Visions to Throwdown to Bleeding Through. Shit, man. You have a catalog of music. I mean, I think
Yeah.
altogether you have about what, like 12 albums or somewhere around there that you've been
Like,
in.
I honestly have no idea. I know how many Bleeding Through has. We have nine full lengths, and like,
Nine.
I think we have one EP and then a whole bunch of assorted singles and like covers and stuff like that. And I was lucky enough to be on one Throwdown record, Beyond Repair. Also, very fortunate to be on a couple really awesome 18 Visions records. I believe there was one, let's see, Lifeless EP, Yesterday is Time Killed, um, the first 7 inch on Trustkill, Until the Ink Runs Out, and Vanity. Oh, and the best
Mm.
of. So a lot of records on 18 Visions. I didn't realize it actually. That
Yeah, I had saw you were
that's a
like on
lot.
four 18 Visions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
I
I
guess
mean, like, yeah,
13 records.
dang, that's crazy.
That's amazing, man. That's a lot of work you've been in.
But
And
also, but also, I've been meaning to plug. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Because the thing is like I've been going through like memory lane in a little bit and going through like projects that I've done, and I did one with Alex Veracoxis from Atreyu called "I Am War," and it was like a record that just him and I wrote together, and it's just super like thrashy, kind of like dirty, metal hardcore record, and it kind of like resurfaced because someone like sent me a link and was like, oh, I totally forgot you guys did this. And I listened to it and I'm like, dude, it's awesome. So there's that, which if you have not heard I More, like you should literally go listen to it because I heard that and I immediately am starting to write another record for it. Because I was just like, dude, maybe this is just cooler now than it was when we put it out. But, you know, it's a very like
Yeah,
niche, like underground, like type record that we did.
I agree. I think y'all's music has aged well, man. And I just want to say I was a U.S. history teacher for a long time. I used to play a lot of 2000s metalcore in the classroom, while they're
Yeah.
reading, and every time they'd be like, "Sir, you got to give me that playlist that you listen to," because metalcore's made a comeback, and
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, all that shit that's been going on, everybody loves it now again.
Yeah.
And every time I would give them a list of bands, and almost, dude, I would say 98% of the time, they would always come back with a little list, like which ones they liked, and you were
Yeah.
always on there, bleeding through, bleeding through.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so definitely your music has aged well, and again,
We're
awesome. That's
still
fucking
we're
great.
still we're still hitting in the high schools, man. You know what I mean? We never
Hey, bro.
graduated.
Yeah, that's the group you
But
need,
dude,
man.
I mean, you know what, man? Like if there's new generations of people that like our music, that's awesome. Especially if it's like something that's like resurfacing again and something that a lot of people are like listening to, and that's really cool. I mean, I didn't think, like, in all honesty, when we were like writing this stuff, like we never even thought past like probably like 5 years, man. This was just like, let's write a record, see how it goes. Let's write another record and see how it goes. It's like we weren't like, okay, we're doing this. This is gonna be 20 years, 26 years or whatever. This was just something that like we had no idea if people were even gonna freaking like it. You know what I mean? But it was something that we could tell that like after a little bit was turning into like its own sort of like subgenre and subculture almost. And I kind of find with that it's like probably the biggest like subgenre or you know kind of pocket genre would be grunge, right? And that has lived on for like literally ever. Something like that has like a slot like that. I mean, obviously there's a hardcore metal, punk, grunge, reggae, stuff like that, but metalcore has these like weird hooks that just like got hooked. And I think it was a combination of things. Like I think once the music was coming up and it started being like getting more popular, that's when social media started getting a little bit more popular as well. And our bands were some of the first bands, and then it kind of transitioned to deathcore bands like doing it as well, and basically perfecting it was using social media to promote. Like it wasn't one of these things where we were like, we almost like didn't use it the proper way. Like everyone was on MySpace to meet people, right? Weird.
Fuck
You could
yeah.
have totally promoted your band, you know what I mean? And all of us idiots were like going about the wrong way. And I remember when it was like Suicide Silence time and like Job for a Cowboy, they started doing it the right way and promoting their band through all these social media like platforms. And we're like, damn it, we should have done that. You know what I mean? Because we were still holding on to, hey, we got to sell this amount of records and draw this amount of people and do this amount of money in merch. And other bands are starting to focus on like social media stuff and promoting that way and kind of using free opportunities to promote your music and get your shit out there. And it was awesome. But I think because of that little glitch right there, that little like gap, I feel like metalcore has like this weird pocket that's just gonna live forever. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. And you're totally right. Nowadays, man, even like what I do right now, you need social media, like, word of mouth, and people need to see you over and over to kind of get that connection and follow you, like, hey, I'll subscribe to you, follow you, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Before we get into all the hardcore shit, because I definitely want to get into that, I do want to
Okay.
talk about you're a trainer now. I mean, obviously you're a
Yeah.
beefcake. Look at you. Obviously you work out a lot. Rise Above is the name of your
Yeah.
that's the gym. And can
Yep.
you tell us a little bit about that venture that
Yeah.
you've been on?
Yeah, man. It's called Rise Above Fitness. It's in Huntington Beach. I've had the facility for almost 16 years now, which is pretty crazy. Um, like I started like feeling a little bit like in the early 2000s, late, you know, '09, 2010, 2011. I kind of started feeling like a little bit like, I don't know, grumpy about the music industry. You know what I mean? It was like we've been touring so much. we gave so much to this. Like it was like 8 months, a year, full-time job, putting records in between. Like it was a lot. And I think at that point I might have been looking for like a different outlet. And a couple years before that, I started training with like a personal trainer and a bunch of friends that were more educated in actually training. And I started really like loving it. And it was something where I was going on tour and I was just like setting up like parking lot workout shit. You know what I mean? Equipment in the parking lot. And I would just be out there in the parking lot, just fucking ripping it up. And like other people from other bands were coming up and going like, hey man, can we jump in? Like I've been really wanting to like, you know, get into fitness. Like, could you help me with anything, like any pointers or whatever? And I'm like, well, let's just train together. And I started realizing that the things that I learned from like my trainer and sort of him being a mentor to me, I was applying to other people, and I saw like the change happening within like weeks. Like just like people were drinking less on tour. People's priorities were a little bit different. They were looking forward to waking up during the day and going on walks and like doing shit that was actually productive. They weren't just like sleeping on their bus or sleeping and just waking up and start drinking. It was like there was a balance. There's a balance of tour, and that's what keeps you around. We all like to have drinks and stuff. A lot of us, like, you know what I mean? Like we like the party aspect of tour, but it's like this: take care of your business. Exactly. Cheers. If you take care of your business and take care of yourself, will allow you to do those things in moderation and have a career at doing this shit. So I really enjoyed working with people and kind of, I mean, I guess like training them. Some of the earlier people, it was like Adam from Oceano, man. Like that dude was like working out with me every day in parking lots, and he's majorly made it part of his life, which is amazing. And it's awesome to see, but like even like that alone is just awesome. So I came home and I just wanted to start a business. And there was nobody at that point in the fitness industry that was properly using social media back when it was just like Facebook, early Instagram with fitness. And fitness at the time, the whole industry was just like, hey, just a bunch of like blonde hair, pretty boy, white boys with like no tattoos and just like the craziest abs you've ever seen. And like it looked fucking Barbie doll, you know what I mean? And it like I just kind of noticed that it was like taking a turn for something different. Like I was noticing that people that used to make fun of me for working out now are coming up to me asking me what I do for like my workouts and stuff. So I noticed a different type of demographic being like punk, metal, hardcore. Those people were like wanting to kind of get into this world. You know what I mean? I would go to like so I wanted to create a place where that was sort of for everybody. You know what I mean? I wanted to get really educated on my programming, and I felt like I wanted to build a culture with fitness and have it be sort of a collision of like music and fitness culture. And that's essentially what I did. But yeah, man, I love it. What's that?
No, I was gonna say, do you play a lot of metal music in your gym, like while you're working out?
That's pretty much all we play. We play metal and like some punk stuff. So we play like
That's
metal,
fucking amazing.
Like, we play like metal, hardcore, and punk. So, but it's like, you know, that's just a vibe. I mean, once in a while, if there's a good hip hop record we want to listen to, boom, put it on. Once in a while, you'll get some things here and there. No country, just kind of brings down the vibe and makes people lazy. I find people start like all of a sudden you put country on, all of a sudden it's like groups of people just start congregating over things and just like leaning on a piece of equipment and having conversations and like drinking their proteins like they're drinking a beer at the end of work and shit. It's like it brings down the vibe.
Gotcha.
At least I mean, it's like this morning I was listening to like the new Silosis record and new Body Snatcher record in here. You know, we'll just hit the Spotify playlist too and just kind of create our own like playlist as well.
That's awesome, man. I've always thought of that like a fucking metalhead like workout
it's a
place.
metalhead gym.
And yeah. I mean, and you and I would say Tim from As Late Dying. I mean, y'all are like in competition. Who could get beefier? Y'all are both huge.
He's definitely got me on that.
Yeah, he is humongous, bro.
Yeah,
he's huge. I was like,
boy.
God. Yeah. I do want to say, just for people out there, what would be your top like 5 songs to get you hyped to work out or getting like a, you know, grappling or whatever that may be? What would be your top 5?
I mean, dude, like You could say anything.
That's a hard question. I'm sorry.
But like,
Hatebreed. There you go.
probably Hatebreed Perseverance is such a good one because it's just like what I swear to God that song was kind of written for people doing bicep curls, and it was just like total like gym jams, like the original Gym Jams hardcore record. It has to be that record, right? But yeah, like
It's a good choice.
I don't know about songs, but I'll go records. Like that record, like the black metal, like Death Cult Armageddon, Demon Borgir, I listen to all the time when I'm in here. If I just want something like super fucking, I don't know, dark, heavy, and atmospheric. Man, recently the new Varials record is just so brutal. And like if I'm looking for a little bit of like, hey, I need to get kicked in the nuts to work out, I'll throw that on. Also, the last Whitechapel record was like my record of 2025 in the gym. That and it's like one of those things where like I've liked them for a long time, but this record just somehow just like totally fucking hit with me. And it was like if I need to just go out there and fuck it up, like I'm gonna listen to that record. Yeah, dude.
No, Whitechapel's sick as fuck,
Yeah.
man, for sure.
Man, let's say the fifth one. Yeah, that new Body Snatcher record's really good too. Yeah, it's
That is a
it's
good record,
one.
man.
Yep.
I've been listening to that one too as well.
Bands
I
are
do
too
want to
good
say,
now. Bands are just too good
I
now.
heard,
Like it
I heard you
sucks.
talking. I heard you talking about that with drummers. You're like, drummers are just too good now. Like it wasn't like that when I was coming up, and I
when
thought
the
that.
fuck did drummers ever good? Never. It was the hardest thing to find. Now it's like there's so many drummers that are just like you're just like, oh my God. It's crazy. But bands, it's like you hear a band that like poor band because like 20 years ago, if that came out 20 years ago, they'd be the biggest band on the fucking planet. But now it's just like it's so good, but everything is so good. So it's just like you got to have a lot of mystical powers working for you to get something going, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's the just the new rise of like I said, metalcore coming out, and just all kinds of grindcore, all the shit coming out.
Yeah.
It's been really good. I've been seeing it. What are some new bands like other than the ones you mentioned, like new bands, like young bands that you've seen that give you inspiration, like inspire you to fucking make more music?
Well,
Are there any
dude,
that you know of?
like around here, there's like a really cool band called Tornadic. They're like, they kind of remind me of like when I was in 18 Visions and we were getting things going. Like we just so like everything was the coolest thing ever. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it makes me like go back and be like, dude, remember when everything was like so like the coolest news, the coolest information, like the coolest thing to ever happen. The older you get, and people used to say, enjoy it while you're young, and that's the older you get now. You realize that because you're just fucking grumpy about it. You have to talk yourself into being excited about something. Like, should I be excited about this? Yeah, I think I could be. Yeah, I guess I could be excited about this. And when you're younger, you're just like, dude, this is the best thing that's ever happened, right? Like the energy that band has as people is awesome, and that's why I love them. And they're an Orange County band as well, but they're talent wise and like how they are live, like, dude, it's like a refreshing wave of metalcore, I think. And I feel like Orange County's been sort of lacking the next like metalcore band to take that sort of like that leap, and I think that band might be it.
That's all. I'm gonna have to check them out. Yeah, because y'all had like a SoCal explosion. You had the Orange County and all this shit going on with y'all. Even like you're talking about as like Dying Right San Diego, all that shit. Y'all had a run, man. Y'all were tearing it up for a good while. It was an amazing run.
What's crazy is like the bands are still there. It's like you have us, you have Six Year Guns, you know what I mean? Like you have 18 Visions around, you have Throwdown around, you have Beyond Repair, which is like the other Throwdown, and it's like you're having other bands like Winds of Plague come back, and you're just like you're all getting these bands. Like, so it's like either we just can't give it up or no one can get their shit going. You know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like we are all like sort of waiting for like the new band to like happen, because it's like, but I think that, right now though in Orange County, there's so many cool bands. Like Like there's a band called Ursula that's really cool. They're like a metalcore, like hardcore band. Um, what are some other bands, man? Like, dude, now I'm like totally drawing a blank. But like, yeah, dude, there's
I
a
know
lot
that
of cool
always
bands
happens.
around here, and there's so many shows, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really cool.
That's awesome, man. And yeah, there's a lot. I love to see like a bunch of young people just living their best life, man, making music, and it's been
Dude,
coming out a lot of experimental stuff.
it's
I know
refreshing.
y'all stuff. Yeah, for sure. And y'all's, I mean, your latest album, Nine, bro. I mean, you could listen to. I would say all your albums I've listened from start to finish, and this one I was kind of like, man, they've been around a while. Like you know how bands kind of drop off and they get like kind of
Oh
less
yeah,
heavy and stuff. This one was fucking brutal, and I was like,
yeah.
God damn, from the get go, I loved it, man. What
Thank
would you
you.
say if somebody has not listened to Bleeding Through before, and you're talking about that album, the nine, whatever, what song would you push out there to listen to this first because this is gonna get
So
you? What
if
would it be?
if if the ultimate bleeding through song I feel is on that record, um, I have like there's like, and I'll get into this after, but like if I'm playing one song off that record to be like this is bleeding through, it's Dead but So Alive.
Which one again? Say it again. Sorry.
Dead but So Alive.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a banger, bro. That's a
You
good
know what I
one.
mean? Because it's like it comes in hard. It has the thrashy. It has like the sort of black metal element, and it has the choruses, and it just kind of like embodies everything that we've ever done um, as a band. So when I do, I mean, when people ask like, "Oh, what's your band sound like?" That is the song that I'll show 'em. Like the
Nice.
video's cool,
That
like everything is kind of cool about it. It's a good representation of where we are now, what we've done in the future, or what we've done in the past, sorry, and then what we will do in the future. You know what I mean? Like that is like our shit's only going to get heavier and more aggressive, but also more, you know, atmospheric, a little bit more like a little more harmonies, like getting Marta more involved in like being like more of the singer of the band as well. Like just tapping our like putting our toes into that water first and just kind of going with it. You know what I mean? But I tell people all the time, I get disappointed because here's the thing. I think when a lot of bands get back together, they're removed from, and it's like that's the thing. It's like we took a little bit, we took a 4-year break, 4.5-year break. We needed to get our shit together, came back, but we never stopped like playing music. Like I had side projects, everyone had side projects. And then when we came back, we are such a competitive band that like, and it's not like a vindictive, like hateful competitiveness. It's like we want to be one of the best, and we never want to be like a band that puts a record out later in their career, and you can just tell they're so fucking out of touch. You know what I mean? It's
exactly. That's
like
exactly what
I
it
never
is.
wanted to put out a Metallica Saint Anger. You know what I mean? Like, I never wanted to have any record that is that. And I feel like it's so disappointing when I hear a band that I love or I've loved over the years and they kind of come back out of like with a record after enough time and you kind of listen and you're like, dude, fuck. And then you see them live and they're like, I keep using this kind of like whole thing and I'm going to use it one more time and I'm never going to use it again. Most of them look like dudes that finally got away for the weekend and got to go play some shows. You know what I'm saying? Like they look like they just dropped their kids off at soccer practice and then are playing a show really quick and then almost hyperventilate on stage and then have to go pick their kids up back from soccer practice. Like that's just like sometimes these bands come back and you're like, I've never seen a band full of dudes that just look like normal fucking dudes. And I like bands like black metal bands and I like the Misfits, and I like bands that put a little bit effort into like what they have going on stage. It doesn't have to be about wearing something that's uniform or whatever, but like I can tell if you're comfortable on stage. So at least show me that you're comfortable on stage. And so knowing all of that, that's just our fire. We never want anybody to ever hear a record of ours or see us live and say any of those horrible things that I just said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
well,
dude,
you're doing a fantastic fucking job. I'll say that because I've seen y'all many times over here in Texas and Austin and Houston, here in San
yeah.
Antonio, where I'm at and where I'm from. And y'all always kicked ass. Your music's always been great. I love the mixture that you put. You do have all these kind of elements of black metal, death metal. hardcore, man. Like it's all blended together beautifully. I love it. And yeah, man, y'all keep pushing out bangers.
We're
And
doing it.
I mean, as a fan and as fans that I know, that fans of yours, I mean, we all appreciate like y'all putting that much effort into your music
Thank you.
to give
And
us, yeah, especially when we know there's a new album. Like, fuck yeah, let's get
Yes.
it. Then where nowadays you don't get it no more. I'm 43, so
Totally.
I remember back in the day when you had to go, CD exchange or wherever the fuck it was at,
whatever. Dude,
Blockbuster
but like,
Music and shit. Now it's
what
just
a-
like Spotify straight
It's
up, and you
everywhere.
boom, and you, yeah.
I know. And I feel like music is so accessible that it almost sometimes it makes the release of a record less special. I think back, and this is just like still old guy talking right now, but I'm
No,
but for real, like,
100%.
I think once you had to make the effort to go somewhere to buy the record, just to hear it, just to take a chance taking a chance on the record now is free. Okay, taking a chance on a record back in the day at least used to be $9.99. You know what I mean? Like a CD. And then you could listen and fucking hate it and you're like, fuck, I wasted money. Right? But it's like now it's easy. But I think those experiences that I always feel like that I was lucky to have. And I love being a band when people had to make that effort to go like buy your record and hear your band and shit. I miss those times. I think it makes it a little bit more special. I think it just does. You know what I mean? I feel like the journey is what makes it special. And I'm not saying that it's not relative
No,
to how special things are now
Go ahead,
to
sorry.
these bands, but like special now to these bands is knowing that this many people streamed your music or this many people like today fucking downloaded this song. And it just that's awesome. And that's how they look at like those exciting times. And just our exciting time was knowing that a local record store sold out of your record in like one day. And you're like, shit, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like that's cool. They made it special. So it's really hard now to make it feel like that.
No, you're 100% correct, man. I'm old. And like I said, I don't know if I'm older or younger, but I'm 43. I remember
Yeah.
those experiences and they were great. And it did make it special. Even like getting tickets to a concert, you used to have to go to like the mall. You would have to go like probably overnight so you could get GA and everybody there was drinking, listening to the band that we're going to buy the tickets for. And it was fucking amazing. And it was
Yeah.
like a community, and nowadays you gotta, oh shit, it comes out at 10 and then you gotta get there. And then on top of that, you have like a million of these fucking assholes that buy 100 tickets and sell them for triple, quadruple the price. And it just takes all the joy out of it. And it does suck, like it does. And I know what you mean. Like nowadays it's like, how many views did we get? And that's the new
Yeah.
thing, right? The new like currency, you would say.
And it's like,
but it's
I hate
just
to
not the
say it, but,
same
like,
for sure. And
I hate to say it too, like I don't fucking care. Like people can be like, oh my God, there was this amount of views on it. And I'm like, that's cool. Like, thank you. You know what I mean?
are they coming to the show?
Yeah. Are they going to come to the
Yeah,
show?
exactly.
Will they actually leave their house
Exactly.
and go into the venue? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know.
You worked with so many people: Suicide Silence, AFI, Tiger Army, Miss May
Yeah.
I, with awesome, Motionless in White, Lionheart. I mean, you have all these things with Tim from As Lay Dying for sure. I believe on one of your albums.
Yeah.
Who is a band that you have not worked with that you're like dying to work with?
Shit.
I would say, man, I would love to see you in like a Deftones collab. That'd be sick as fuck. I don't know why. I think you would go good together. But who is a band that you would be?
That'd be really cool, man. I mean, Deftones.
I
would
don't
be
know why,
awesome.
because you
I'm
could
like,
like
I'm just thinking of like some things here. I mean, like, if we're looking like off the wall type of thing, dude, I would want to do like something industrial, like Nine Inch Nails or some shit. Like that'd be fucking cool. That would never happen in the world I live in. But
That'd be
it'd be
badass.
really cool because I feel like the vibe would totally be cool. So if you're looking at like a band like that, but I really like a band called Health, and they're fucking awesome, and I really want to do a collaboration with them. I just don't know how to ask them. It's one of those things where I'm like still a fan of music, so I get like scared of bands that I really like, which is kind of interesting. But I don't know, man. Like, I have some things in the works for our new record. I've always wanted to do like something like with Rancid, because I love that band, and it's like,
Mm.
they've been influences on us on a personal level throughout the years. Um, yeah, so stuff like that, dude. It's easy to do like collaborations with the usual suspects. You know what I mean?
I mean, people you're accustomed to already. And
Yeah.
I do want to say the feature, like the songs that you're featured on with these bands are fucking amazing. By the way, god
Thank
damn,
you.
they kick in the nuts. It's great shit. I just want to say that.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Who have you been starstruck by? Like, I mean, you've been on Ozfest, you've been on all these kinds of big tours. Who have you been like, oh shit, like it kind of caught you? Who would you say?
I mean, when I got to like see Morrissey, like shake
Ooh,
Morrissey's hand, that's crazy. Um, dude, I don't know, man. Actually, I do know. So Morrissey in the music world, Morrissey, that was crazy. Danzig, another guy that like I just didn't really know how to handle myself, so I just did my best at like just being super chill. Um, I've met Henry Rollins a couple times. He was very nice the few times that we met. Um, like everyone's pretty cool. Like I like a lot of old like New York hardcore, and so like getting to meet like John Joseph and like dudes and Sick of It All. Um, that was always been really inspiring, but really like meeting Leonardo DiCaprio was pretty crazy. Uh, let's see, who else have
Oh
we been
shit,
talking
you
about?
met Leonardo DiCaprio? How was that? How
Yeah,
did that
dude.
happen?
Uh, let's just say it happened. So like we,
I
yeah,
just want,
it was, yeah, let's just say it
it's
happened.
a Leo.
Um, yeah, I know. No, man.
Sweet.
He was a really cool dude. Got to hang out with him for a little bit. But yeah, it was awesome. Um, but the one person of recent, I mean, meeting Morrissey is like, oh my God, that's just like, oh. But it's one of those things where like of recent, I don't know how familiar you are with like the baseball world. Okay, so I train a lot of baseball players
Yeah.
in my gym, and I know people in the baseball industry and whatever. And one of my really good friends works for Scott Boras, who is like, baseball's villain power agent, who is one of the coolest dudes I've ever met in my life. And it's so when I finally got to meet him uh, at Dodger Stadium, got to talk to him a little bit. It's really funny because it's like you in the being in my world, it's like you hear ESPN talk about these people and how this person dictates so much of like what baseball players are getting paid, and you've heard so many different opinions about a person. So when you meet them, you're just like, I have no idea what to expect at all, none at all. And so when I met him, I was like terrified, but also just like, who fucking cares, right? But like still kind of like, oh my God, I'm meeting Scott Boras. And it was really funny, man. But yeah, that was I was kind of scared to meet him, but we talked for a bunch of time. There's not a dude. I mean, I get it in the baseball world of why people would want to work with him because within 30 seconds you're like besties with the dude. The dude is just super genuine, makes you feel really really comfortable, really fast, and he's really cool dude. But that's it's probably not one
That's
you're
all.
gonna
I
get
thought you
from
were
a
gonna say
band ever.
Otani.
Oh, dude, no, but that same day,
Yeah.
Otani rolled by, and I couldn't believe how absolutely fucking massive he is. Like, he doesn't look real. He looks like
Yeah,
a
he's
Pixar
a huge
character.
human being, bro.
Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
man.
my wife's from Japan, so he's like a god over there, bro.
Oh, yeah, he is.
He's like a fucking. He
Yeah.
just walks on water in Japan, bro. It's crazy, but that's awesome. You got to meet a couple of like celebrities in different fields, and
Yeah.
I can imagine like I mean even me talking to you right now, I'm just like oh shit. Like before we started, I'm like fuck, I can't fuck this up, you know.
I
So
mean, you know what, though?
definitely good thing.
That's cool though because it
Everybody's
means
just
like you're a
people. I know.
fan, and that's the thing is everybody is just people, but also having that like fandom in your heart is what's going to keep you pure and keep you not get bitter or like take any of this for granted. Being a fan of music, it's like if I listen to
Oh,
a new band or whatever, it's like I will like reach out to them and be like, dude, I think your band's fucking awesome, or like we're gonna go see them play. And I think that sort of respect should be paid forward from fans to bands or bands to bands or even a band to fans. Like when we're playing a fucking good show, like I will say, you guys are fucking this up right now. You're killing it. You're making this easy for us. You know what I mean? Like you're making this vibe so good. Like they deserve part of the credit for how this whole thing works. That's why like what I've only noticed about like the newer generation of bands is they're a little bit more guarded. They're not so accessible to people. And I feel like that's cool and all, but at the end of the day, no one's gonna give a shit about you regardless. So you might as well make some fucking friends and like do some like make people happy and make your fans feel fucking good. And that's the thing. It's like that's why like meeting people, you should feel like a little bit oh because you respect them and it's okay to be a fan. But like dude, like I get really upset when I just hear that like a lot of bands like aren't accessible to fans. You know what I mean? Like if you want to meet Bleeding Through, we're literally
Yeah.
at our shows. We're literally hanging out at our shows. You know what I mean? Like we're just around. Come have a beer with us. You know what I'm saying? Like what's
Yeah,
the
and
big deal?
that's awesome. That's awesome, man. I do want to say, since you're talking about playing in big show, because you played in big things, right? Big
Yeah.
tours. What is the mindset before you hit that stage? Are you like fucking hyping yourself up, getting angry? I mean, what is going on with you before you get on there?
So personally, I can only really speak to myself about like what I do personally. I literally just spend. Well, first off, I walk around like frantically with the ball of nerves, like just trying to get myself mentally ready, and then I kind of like snap in like 20 minutes before we play. I kind of do a moment of reflection. Uh, try to do a moment of gratitude, but mainly a moment of reflection. I'll think about something in Bleeding Through's past that we have had to kind of work through that wasn't easy. And I'll reflect on that time frame and what it meant for us to get through that time and how, whether it was sacrifice or just disappointment, moving through bad times, and also kind of reflecting on the good that came from it. It gives me a perspective to walk on that stage and not take a damn thing for granted because I know how fast this shit can be gone. And it's like, I never want this to end, right? Like, I want the relationship between us and our fans to always continue to be there. So I reflect on something that makes me grateful for them. It makes me grateful for the support. And as much as it can. Sometimes I mix a little bit of anger in there. Sometimes I mix a little bit of self-doubt and anxiety. But then I just put it in the ball, put it in my gut, and I walk on stage and I just fucking spit that goddamn venom all over the place. And that's why, like, there's times where I just don't even remember the show much because I'm just like, I try to put myself in a position where I just explode.
That's fucking badass, bro. There's a ball of emotions. I have a basket
Yeah,
case of emotions.
pretty much.
That's
Like
good though, because you got to have it all. And it's
if you've seen us after we play,
I've seen you out there for sure.
but after we play, I'm very emotional. You know, I'm a wreck. I put a lot into this. I think anybody that's been around for as long as like 26 years, that's a long time, dude. That's a lot of sacrifice, lots of relationships, lots of failed relationships, lots of, death, lots of everything changing in your life. And to have anything that's constant in your life like that, that is something you gotta cherish. So,
for sure.
yeah.
And it's great that you appreciate like the fans and then the moments. I mean, that's awesome that you still have that like anxiety too, because it's just, since you've been at it for so long, I just assume like it's just another thing for you, like, because you see these older bands and they're just like, oh, let's go get this over with, and it's good that you still have that fucking fire in you and you're like, fuck it, let's get going. And because, and it's like, every fan's going to remember that moment, for you, it's you're doing a show. And for us, it's like, you remember when Bleeding Through played in this time and you remember then they played this.
Yeah.
And it's a big moment for a lot of people, and people remember that forever. They take that forever with them. And we appreciate that when bands do that for sure. And that's awesome that you do that.
Bet. I mean, not every band is going to perform that way because a lot of other bands they have a bright future ahead of them. You know what I mean? It's like, for us, like now it's just like, we were just in Texas and it's like, well, we gave everything we had every night because we're not saying we're never going to be there, but you never know. You never know at this age, at this time of a band's
Yeah.
career when you get older like that. You never know if this is the last time we're ever going to play in Texas. Probably won't, but we're going to play like
Yeah,
it's the last
yeah. I mean,
time.
yeah, you got to come back, brother.
Oh, we will.
I would. One of the questions I would like to ask is like, any financial advice for like young bands or some things that you did were financially like not good that you would give to a young band right now coming up?
Dude. Uh, I mean,
Don't do drugs.
yeah. I mean, it's not even that at all. Drugs are typically free anyway.
That makes sense.
Um, no, man. Don't do it. I don't know. Like, it's kind of just like find ways to monetize your music. Make sure whatever record deals you're signing, it's the same shit. It's like make sure whatever deal you're signing with record labels gives you the same sort of like power over your record so you can make money financially. But dude, I mean, yeah, try to be as self-sufficient as long as here's the whole thing. Try to be as self-sufficient as long as you can. Like if you're a band with 5 individuals and you can sell your own merch, you can put your own shit on stage. You don't need to pretend. You don't need to spend money on fucking like. I've seen a lot of bands that have really like not made money because it's like they go out there with like crazy production. They have like a merch guy, a sound guy, a light guy, a stage hand. You know, they have all this like crazy like lights and all this shit, and they're paying all these people so much money, and it's like bands don't come home with a lot of money, and even bands that get paid well, like if Bleeding Through, who gets paid pretty well, if we went out there with a sound guy, a light guy, guitar tech, drum tech, we would, dude, we would not make money. So it's like, I just tell bands, just do it yourself as long as you can do it yourself. If you're just starting, you know what I mean? Like, and even like condense, really make sure that's something you need. Find like, if sound is something you need, get a sound guy. But if you don't need a light guy and you can worry about light, like house light guys, do that. Like I like using house sound guys and light guys because there's 2 individuals that know that shit better than any fucking sound guy coming in there off the street. And I bro down with them, make them know that we appreciate them being there and we want to work with them. And we give them a little fucking chip on their shoulder to make sure that we look the best and we fucking sound the best. Because trust me, house sound guys hate it when touring sound guys come in and fucking take their board over. So I know that it's free, so you might as well fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I tell bands like try to be as self-sufficient as long as you can. Tour manage yourself. Sell your own merch. People are stoked. Dude, we sell our own merch now. You know what I mean? It's like I like to see people come up and buy our merch. They get stoked on seeing us there. It's a way for us to interact with those fans and make them know that like we're appreciative of them being there. Get to humanize ourselves with them, drink a beer with them, fucking, you know what I mean? Like, take pictures, do cool shit.
That's good advice, man. I mean, be frugal with the shit, like things that you don't need to spend money on. Don't spend money on.
Yeah.
I mean, that totally makes sense for sure. I do have a question because I know you've worked with producers like Rob Caggiano, Devin Townsend, and Mick Kenny. Which producer you feel like challenged y'all the most as a band? What would you say?
Fuck. Rob Caggiano grinded us harder than anybody. That's for damn sure. But I have to say, Devin Townsend challenged us. He instilled structure to our whole way of being a band. And we came out a complete different animal after we recorded a record with him. Like that record was like The Truth was cool with Rob Caggiano. I love that record. But Declaration was like, we went to the school of fucking Devin Townsend and he just instilled something in us that we just took. We took from his influence and we watched what he was doing and the way that he conducted himself with music and how he operates. And he first week we were there, we were just rehearsing for 10 hours a day, going over click tracks, making sure everything was perfect, making sure tempos were perfect. Like it was a different way of being very meticulous. And he also was very interested in using different sounds and trying to like really kind of push the envelope on like just post production and stuff like that. That dude made us. That dude made us the band we're on today, for sure.
That's good. You got pushed to that level and
Yeah.
came out, with some
Yeah.
more wounds and better for it. That's
Yeah.
great. I would just ask them. I know I don't want to keep you too much time, but real quick, what are some of the craziest tour stories or tour story you have that like something that you're just like, dude, it was a fucking wild.
I mean,
Just shit going on everywhere or something.
Honestly, the one that is the wildest is just when we almost died in 2003, driving through Utah at Park City. We had, we were on a nationally televised police's craziest dash cam moments, and like we were on like hard copy and like local news is forever. So we basically we hit black ice and almost like started flipping our van in Utah, and there was a wreck on the other side of the highway so the cops dash cams were all on, and they captured the whole thing. So you can YouTube it, just put bleeding through van accident. That is by far the most crazy thing that's ever happened to us on tour. By far.
Damn.
Yeah.
And touring for so long with like I know you had the same bassist for a long time. I mean, you've been together for a long time. What advice would you give to like kind of stay in that camaraderie where you kind of still can stand each other? Because I mean, you're with each other all the time. I can imagine, that could lead to just fights or arguments. What's good advice to like kind of stick and have that friendship still?
Give each other space, know when to walk away from an argument, because a lot of times when you're on tour together, you're constantly around each other, where eventually you're going to get to the point where like you could legit say something so normal and someone's going to take it the wrong way. So, I mean, that's going to happen. So that's the thing. It's like, I just tell people like, give each other space, you know what I mean? Communicate with each other. It's like, yeah, I'm going to go do my own thing. Try not to take everything so personal. Everybody's going through their day differently. You just got to be willing to help and willing to do your job. You know what I mean? And don't party
basically,
so much.
basically like when having a wife, it's like, no, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to party. That's what I was saying. I think if you party too much, I mean, those emotions and all the craziness would just follow suit for sure.
Yeah.
And were y'all like raging when you were younger, and then you kind of slowed down as you got older, or was it always kind of like
the opposite?
You always had like that kind of. Oh, really?
Dude,
how did it go when you were younger then?
We didn't do shit. Like most of us didn't drink, do drugs. We didn't really do anything. We just were play the show, stay on task, watch funny movies, just have fun, which is neither is better, neither is, you know what I mean? It's like just the way it went. Like in our 20s, we were very regimented. None of us really drank or did anything. And then kind of in our 30s, as we all grew up, we started doing a little bit more. And now it's like we're not like full on ragers, but we like to have a good time. You know what I mean?
That's cool. Yeah, where when you were coming up to straight edge was a big deal. Everybody was like straight edge and had the 3 X's, and I was like, cool. It wasn't for me because I was always drinking, but yeah, it was a lot of people were kind of more health conscious and kind of doing those kind of things. So I could see that. But that's great, man. I'm glad y'all kept your head straight, and I guess that's why you've stuck through all the ins and outs of the music industry and all the craziness that goes along with it, for sure.
Yeah, I can honestly say that was a main contributor to it. That the fact that we didn't have to like deal with each other partying in our 20s, because trust me, there was plenty of opportunity. I mean, we're doing Ozfest, we're doing Warped Tour, we're going to Europe twice a year, like, and it's just like there was plenty of opportunity, and I don't know how that would have affected us, to be honest. And it was a way that we stayed unified, and I think it was a really cool thing.
And especially with bands, man, y'all got girls everywhere. I mean, it could just I would not make it as a young person. I wouldn't have made it. I would have been fun because I would have just got too caught up in the lifestyle. Man. So that's awesome that you had that willpower to kind of say no to all that shit.
Hell yeah.
And what would be a genre of music that people would be surprised that you listen to, or like a person or whatever that may be?
Fuck, man.
A guilty pleasure.
I mean, like the new Haley Williams is awesome. So it's like I like a lot of like pop stuff, and I could probably attribute that to hanging around Marta, who listens to all that shit. But like, I like pop music. I kind of always have. Like, I mean, like, dude, like, I'll fuck around with George Michael and tell everybody else to fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I like all that shit. So like the
Yeah,
newer stuff
that's
like
good.
that, like Lady Gaga and the new Haley Williams, like I said, is awesome.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you listen to basically everything, which
yeah,
is
I do.
great. And are y'all working on a new? Before I let you go, are y'all working on a new album right now?
We're getting in the process of writing new material. We have a re-record of a song off the Truth that we're putting together right now. So that will be dropping in the next couple months, and then we're going to start kind of piecing together in a new record again. So you could probably start seeing, probably new material come out in about 5, 6 months with some videos and stuff, kind of leading up into the record. We don't necessarily have like a hard date on when the new record will be out, but the process of writing is begun again. So we're stoked on that as well.
And
Yeah.
you like you're doing the majority of the lyrics.
I do all the lyrics.
Like when you write, are you doing the majority of lyrics?
Yeah, I do all the
Okay.
lyrics and arranging stuff like that. And I'd say I probably write, you know, about a third of the records, guitar wise and song wise. But this record, we're gonna try to get as much collaboration from everybody. It's like, I wrote a lot of the majority of Bleeding Through stuff for a long time, and now it's like something like if I have a cool song, I'll do it. But I really want other people to jump in and kind of throw more of their thing in there.
Well, that'll be great, man. I look forward
Yeah.
to it, and I hope. Are you touring right now? Like,
No,
are you on
we
break right
we
now?
we have something coming up in a couple weeks. We're playing the Pacific Northwest, so we're doing a headliner with I Declare War and Extortionist. We're doing Portland, Seattle, and
Damn.
Vancouver, and so we're just coming up for those 3 shows, and then we come back home and kind of head out for Fourth of July weekend to play Hellfest.
That's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah. And then you're and hopefully y'all go on a nationwide tour soon because I
Sometime.
would love to see y'all. I know you said yeah, and hopefully we could arrange that. If you do come, man, definitely I'll have a beer with you.
Yeah,
I
for
got
sure.
you. We'll definitely get you a
Cool.
beer,
That'd be great.
a few beers and a few shots.
Cool.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and end it because I don't want to waste too much of your time. Thank you so much, Brandon. I really appreciate you coming on, brother. It was very insightful, and it's great to talk to somebody that you've looked up to and listened to for so long. So
Thanks, man.
this is an honor for me, man. It's the pleasure's all mine, and I really appreciate you taking the time. And I wish you the best, and I hope to see you soon in Texas, man, San Antonio
Cool, man.
especially. But
See
thank
you,
you.
dude.